Hey, it's Joe Glines, my automator, and another episode of What We Automated this week. This one's going to be a little different because last Sunday, just after I recorded this video, I went to reboot and completely lost my computer. For whatever reason, I couldn't get back into Windows, couldn't restore any window point backup. It was really weird. And it had been, I don't know, boy, 8 years probably since I'd installed Windows, maybe less, but ever since Windows 11 came out, like, so maybe what, 5 years, 3 years, 4 years? I don't know, it's been a while. I was ready for it. In the sense I should have done it, I wasn't ready for it. But I've updated. Let me switch my screen here. You can see I've gotten most of my stuff, my settings back the same way, but not everything. And I thought I'd show you some of the things that I haven't done and work through them. So let me go ahead and prompt assistant to modify this. So this will help you show. This is what I noticed when I went to run this was this launches fine. Webcam reminder. Change the display. Oh, it's funny because it's in the corner. It's making a full screen. Why have I never had that issue before? That's interesting. Make it smaller. So notice there are 12 files, and we did more than 12 files. So why is that? Well, 12 files were on the S drive, but apparently I didn't create my G drive. Now, what's interesting is this G here. Okay, look, I can click it, and it opens. This is my root G. Yeah, I've got a couple people's names there, but we'll go over. But it's not the actual G drive. This is the direct path to it. So I'm going to copy this, and I need to create. I need to go here and up, see, get up high enough. There is no G drive, so I don't think I can use S drive. Drive. There we go. So these are the letters, and this the full paths. I'm going to add the drive. Have the G drive fit. Put in the path, hit add in my G drive, exit. Now, come back to my PC, I will have my G drive. Now, when I load this script, you'll see that we were, again, mostly doing client work. This one. So there should be a lot more work done the last 7 days. In the script, you can change the files from AutoHotkey, change the days going back. And also, we have a list of different folders that we're looping over. That's inside the script. I didn't put that here because, oh, that's interesting. It's here. Why would the script error out to here? See what drives. It's just going over the S and G drive, which we have. I'll try to launch it again. I don't know why it would break on any set. Oh, I know. Okay, I'm going to stop this. I'm going to go reboot. I think we'll see if I come back if it actually works. All right, so I figured it out. It wasn't a problem that I had suspected. With our S drive, the fake drive creator that we have, we use substitute in DOS to create that drive instantly, and then we write to the registry, so when you reboot, get the full path. I suspected that was the issue. It wasn't the issue. The issue was our client had some paths, new files. He lost his computer just the other day, also, ironically. A whole different issue, but he went to, I don't know what happened, but apparently he was backing up stuff, and some of his files had insanely long paths. And our script, when it would run into those crazy long paths, for whatever reason, it couldn't get the date modified. It was causing an error. So I added a little bit to just exclude the folder, but in order to actually handle it correctly, we're going to have to go and build a try statement around it and maybe look at the length of the file path or something. I'll let the guys figure out the best approach for that. I'm sure we'll talk about that during the hero group this week. But here, now I reran it, got to rerun, there's 100 files found. As you can see, we mostly client work all the way down through here. But again, the point of this video, even though I'll cover some of these because they are related, the client work, but some of these, the notify class, like this button clock, because I put my Explorer on the side, I use a different tool to swap out my start button. It doesn't make sense if you have it in the middle because you don't have that anymore. But I have it up here, and I don't like to have the clock. Now, interesting enough, this clock, for whatever reason, normally that goes away. I tell it to go away. I've told it to go away. It's still there, which is really weird. But maybe I'll reinstall the Explorer patch tool and see if that helps it go away. It should be hidden, and for whatever reason, it's not. So here's the button clock that I used. Now, what's interesting is if I move my taskbar to the monitor, our notify class complains. And so that's what this, and it looks like the updates that Isaiah did to fix that are conflicted. So I'll have to go look at that. Maybe that's why I still have the error, because he fixed it, and then I rebooted and I still had the error. We couldn't figure out why, but I think maybe my files didn't, the class for the file was locked in Dropbox, which is also why I've told AI anytime we're doing stuff, don't use file append, use the file object. With the file object, you can open your file, write to it, and close it. And if Dropbox happens to be trying to sync it at that time, if you use file append, you'll get these conflicted files. So we're trying to go away from using file append because it's easy to use the file object, especially once you get used to it. It's very simple to use. But yeah, that's what's going on with that. See, so what else was I was going to say? I have my list. Let me screenshot of it. I got to start Telegram. And I'm keeping my list of things that I wish I had most stuff backed up. But my Stream Deck profile, which I think I can show you if I click here. Oh, that's OBS. My bad. Colors couldn't look the same. Here we go. Yeah, so I can navigate to it. All of this, for whatever reason, wasn't synced online. Thankfully, I thought I lost it. I was going to have to go recreate it. And thankfully, I was able to find a backup version of it on my computer, which, again, wasn't under the files that Windows replaced. So I want to make sure I go, put that into my profile. My email backup. My email is backed up, but the accounts, which accounts I had, because I had a dozen email addresses for different clients for different things, and just knowing which ones, it's been a long time since I created them. So, and knowing their actual login info, I need to have that written down somewhere in a file somewhere so I can access that. DaVinci hotkey backup. Thankfully, I had done one, not more recently, but at least I got a lot of my quick editing stuff. So if you use DaVinci Resolve, any program you use, you might assign custom hotkeys. Well, hopefully there's a way to export that, or at least keep a track of what you did. Because also with Cursor and VS Code, I had some stuff in there that I had customized, and I had to go redo it. And of course, I hate redoing stuff, so I want to have that in a file so I don't have to do it. Plus, you just have to figure it out again and know what you did, so that I don't have to worry about that. I hate this version of Notepad, the new version of Notepad. But the that new Windows 11 version of Notepad, you can disable that. I don't. It doesn't receive. So this is where I actually had my list while I was working on it, and you can have different tabs. You may like that. I just use Site for that. But even the hot strings and hot strings, the sending of text to these things doesn't work well. And there's lots of things that I really don't. Copilot. Who in the world wants Copilot in Notepad? Well, Microsoft are insane. I don't understand what people use Notepad for. Anyway, sorry. Off of my rant. Yeah, that was that. And then my OBS settings, actual output version. I've used it for so long, I know a lot of it, but I don't remember exactly what I had it. And right now, it creates very, very large files. And of course, I use my effortless video reducer to shrink the files. But if I don't need a really huge file to start with, it'll just a little faster, and I don't have to worry about it. Quick blur, I think we just updated icon for that. Effortless video reducer. Actually, let me launch that. I'll show you one little thing we made. We changed these because we're going around and documenting this tool, some of our tools, and I said, hey, the speed, the encoder, quality, resolution, before we had audio here, and it didn't quite flow, because all of these have to do with the visual stuff, and then there's audio. And then this append here is also different. So I had Irfan very quickly just change the colors of these, so it makes it easier to understand. These are all related to video. This is the audio compression, and then what you're going to get appended to the file that you create. So that was a nice little tweak we did to that. And also, I noticed my performance back of using this, it went way back up when I reinstalled everything, and I think it's because the driver I had before, I had for a while, it was working really, really fast. If I drop a video onto here, let's see here. This will be fine, because it's just probably, well, it's a fairly long video. Notice, so it's going at 12 and a half, 13 times. So even though, let me get the time of this. It is a 30-minute video. It will take me, 1/15 that time, or roughly, to get to process it. My defaults, these are the defaults, right? So this is 8 times faster on average. This is just compared to the slowest speed. This will be 8 times faster, whatever that is. H.265 really compresses it really well, as long as you have like VLC or something to play it. The quality, low. I wouldn't use minimal, only as the last resort, and you really, really, really want a tiny file. And I usually leave the resolution. It doesn't say, going from 10 to 720 often doesn't save you anything. It's kind of surprising. You go down to 480 360, it can. It can shrink your file size. But yeah, I just usually leave the original. Of course, the audio quality, you can get down to 32K for human audio, but I usually because it adds, what, a meg for the time. So processing the file, we're 3/4 over that of the way through. Maybe I'll edit this down to where it'll jump to the end, so it'll be a little quicker. I mean, it finishes 7:41. Oh, so that should be done next minute. So we have an estimate how long it'll take for it to run. Wow. So the processed file is 8% of the original, saving 496 megs. Went from 540 megs down to 43. Like, that's crazy. Average speed was, I don't know if that's right. Completed in 2 minutes. So we processed a 30-minute video in 2 minutes. So that'll help you understand. If it was an hour long, theoretically, it would have been 4 minutes, right? And so when I was using this 2 weeks ago, it was going much slower, and I couldn't figure out why. And because I had to reinstall everything, and when I reinstalled DaVinci Resolve, it said, you need this CUDA, which is my GPU video driver, will really speed things up. So I got that installed, which was like a gig or more. But now it's using my GPU and much, much faster at creating stuff. So that, those recently modified files, we were playing with that, so that's why that's in there. Virtual camera, let me show you that. So if I come over here, I'm in OBS, and I'm going to back to the webcam, and in our hero calls, I will show this text here. And notice this, I can hit a hotkey, and up, this is that text, and I'll say, cool, and then this updates. And so that was one of those things that, thankfully, I had the script that did that, but I had to go update, I think, where it was pointing to stuff, but I had to add it back to OBS. And in OBS, that's just a yellow bar with text. OBS, every couple seconds, refreshes it, so it'll pull it in. It doesn't pull it in immediately, but it's pretty darn quick. So when I'm on a hero call and I want to say, like, oh, we mentioned, I don't know, prompt assistant, so I can easily put in stuff, and then it will usually have that centered. We're not centered far left, and then it fills it across. And I can adjust it live during the recording. But it's my webcam, so people can see it easily. And I don't go back and edit those videos because we have 400 hours, I think, of hero calls. And It's not, it's live calls where we're helping people. So yeah, I don't go back and edit those because we do give a AI summary so people can jump around in the video. Yeah. Well, yeah, it was very unfortunate to have lost, my Windows setup. At the same time, it took me like a day to get back, and I customize a lot of stuff. But thanks for watching, and if you want to join that hero club, that's where I'm releasing more and more little slices of it, so you guys get an idea of what we cover. Really, really good value to learn. Have a great day. Cheers.